Hello everyone, it's Rachel Lovegrove here with another Iyengar Yoga tip of the week. This week's request has come from Beverly to look at Chaturanga Dandasana. And firstly I'm going to show you how I learnt the pose in the first place. And that is that instead of coming up from the floor, which was really quite challenging for me, we went into it from Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. That enabled me to get the extension in the arms and the legs, to get the action in the upper back. And then when you go forwards, you pause there and you grip the arms and you're lifting the abdomen towards the spine, you're squeezing the outer hips. And then as you bend the elbows, you at least have a chance before you collapse to the floor of finding the pose. And that's really how I learned to do the pose, as well as coming up from the floor, of course. But for me personally, it was easier to start that way. The second way was to take that method, but put the feet at the wall. And what this does is it stops you from moving all the body weight forwards into the arms. It makes you work your legs. So my feet are really pressed against the wall, toes tucked, heels back. And then as I come forwards into the pose, I have to keep pushing my heels into the wall. Push, push, push. And then come down. So that's another method. But still there's a struggle. You can see I'm struggling to keep my upper body parallel. I think probably my bottom's higher than my chest. So of course you can use bricks. Now I'm going to show you something different though for those of you that don't get up from the floor at all. And that is, you can use a bolster, but you can also use blocks. And you make a platform for the body. Now this can be the whole length of your trunk. It could be just for the pelvis. It could be just for the chest. This is for the pelvis and the chest. And then you bring your hands here. And you have to make sure that your hands are in line with the elbows, that you haven't got your hands forwards or back or too far back. So there's kind of a right angle there. And then you press the hands down, tuck the toes under, push the heels back. Don't have your feet too wide. And then actually press the chest into that support. And the back of the neck long, shoulders rolling back. And that's all you have to do. You don't have to try and lift. You just have to stay there. And the longer you stay there, the more you start to feel the muscles engaging and acting. And then that will prepare you for when you make the shape of the pose. Because one of the problems that people have with the pose is they're not really sure where the elbows are supposed to be. You know, they get confused, and you see a lot of people sort of doing that, and they're kind of not really in the right position at all with the arms. So this gives you the clue, as well as helping to train the muscles when you're not able to weight bear. I really like that method because everybody can do it. And even those that are more experienced, if you stay there for 2 minutes, you will feel the muscles starting to work. And the other method that you can do, and this is slightly more weight bearing, but equally I've seen people that really struggle with this pose do this very easily, is with the belt on the elbows. You have to make sure it's not too narrow, so it's beside my chest. I'm not closed in like this, and equally I'm not too wide with the elbows. And then that goes actually there. It goes underneath the chest in the diaphragm region. And then, so you have to sort of get your chest over the belt like that, so you can keep your knees on the floor while you get it into position. And then simply tuck the toes, lean the chest forwards. It's not very comfortable to start with on the elbows. You have to get used to that. But it really gives you a sense of the pose and allows you to stay in the pose without, lots and lots of support. So again, you feel the upper body action, you feel the leg action, but you're able to maintain it. And of course, there's another method that we did earlier last year when we were doing our sun salutations, and some people were having problems getting up and down from the floor for various reasons. So the other way I've taught it is actually with the chair. Now this is surprisingly difficult, but everybody can attempt it to a certain degree. And you start off in your sort of chair dog, then you come forwards, not to chair up dog, so you don't drop the hips, but you do come onto the toes, and then you see if you can bend the elbows. And so this really trains the upper body, the biceps, the triceps, and then you push up and push back. So that was our equivalent of, you know, downward dog, upward dog, chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog. That was our equivalent of the sun salutation for those people that couldn't go down to the floor, you know, for various mobility reasons or what have you. So Beverly, I hope that helps you with your chaturanga. When you're doing your chaturanga, try not to just think about the upper body. Think about the leg action as well, and use the wall initially to teach you that. So the one that I showed you with my feet against the wall, use that method to get you to understand the action of the legs. Because, so if I use bricks here, just to show quickly this last one, because then you get the weight going back towards the heel, so it's not all about the upper body. Okay, all right, I hope that helps. It was a challenge for me to teach that as well, as I've been struggling with it, but it's, as I say, it's coming back, so don't give up on yourself, and all of those methods are available to you to practice. Thanks for watching, see you next time.